Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got a lot going on today. I'm going to be playing catch up. Things are a little slow at the moment. We've got a lot of little projects going on that we're doing on our own, and I figured now is a great time for me to tackle a lot of these things that have been put on the back burner for, well, I hate to admit it, but a lot of years. So we're going to get to that. But today's video is brought to you by Brooklyn Bedding. So we'll talk about that soon. So hang tight. But first, let's get some work done. Like I said, we got a pile of things I need done around here, and it's just been eating on me, and it's time to get them tackled. So let's get to it. Let's see if we get this place fixed up a little bit. Besides this shop needing cleaned up, that's my job. You know, everyone says, Nick, clean the shop. Or Hollywood, clean the shop, whatever you want to say. Yeah, boxes and stuff. We've got random items scattered all of paint from doing that tractor. It's stuff that just kind of got put there, and I need to do some of that. The other thing we got to do, first thing I want to tackle is the air lines in the shop. So if we go into our little air compressor room in here. This is our old air compressor. It was there when I was a kid. I remember it never got drained. And one day we were like, hey, we should move this air compressor. We tried to move it, and it was not moving because it was very heavy. And I was like, wait, how is it that heavy? And I kind of shook a little bit, and then I heard water, and I'm like, uh-oh. And it was about wherever the drain port was. I think it was right here. It had this much water in it. It had never been drained. So I pulled that plug, and it drained and drained and drained and drained and drained, however how many gallons that is. I don't know, a lot of gallons. So we retired that air compressor, but the tank was still good. And we got this air compressor when we built the newer edition in the shop, which was about 420. That's when we did it, 2020. We could plug them together. Now we have twice the capacity. But the problem is we do have some 3/4 air lines in the shop as well as a bunch of other lines. And part of our plumbing work wasn't done very well. As you can see, it comes out 3/4. And then, I don't know, it necks down to like there's a PVC here. And then the rubber line up. And then it goes down to 1/2 inch over. Here's our main valve to turn the air on off in the shop. Hits a union and then a T. That one just goes to nothing. Things just get changed over time. And then it bumps up to 3/4 here, 1/2 inch to a fitting over there, and then 3/4 up to the rest of the shop. Well, I want to make it 3/4 the whole way. So 3/4 from here to that line there. And that way we'll have the full volume we should have, like when we're filling big tractor tires and all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of demand going on over there, and it's being choked right here by the 1/2 inch line. So we're going to replace all that and put in 3/4. So let's get the right copper, let's get the right valves, right fittings. I think this is actually a 3/4 valve right there, so I'll just reuse that because here it necks up to 3/4 and then back down to 1/2 and then back up to 3/4. So we're going to get rid of all that, keep that valve, go to 3/4 here, ignore the wiring in the background. Another day for that. And then we'll get the air situation fixed in the shop because every time I walk in here, I look at that and go, I'm sure we're restricting our airflow there, but I haven't fixed it, so we're going to fix that. There's also this receptacle on the side of the shop that was never finished. There's wires in there. Insulation is still on them, it looks like, for the most part. I'm going to find out what's going on with that, too, and see if I can figure out what circuit that's in. It's not wired in right now. It's dead, but I would like there to be a receptacle there so we could plug in stuff. And then something happened, too, in the shop. We were working, and this one just quit working. And you can see we had it pulled out, but there's no... I don't know. I'm going to figure that out, too. So, be the wiring guy today. All right, back at the residence, and look at this. Isn't that pretty sweet? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no more parking in mud. And if I got mud, I can park here and let the mud go here instead of in there. And I got a nice front steps and porch, too, so... Let's go inside. All right, welcome to the bedroom. This is where the sleep happens. And this mattress is made in Arizona, designed, assembled, and shipped directly to you, free of charge, skipping the middleman, saving you money, premium quality, good night's sleep for the right price. Let's go see the mattress. Excuse me, Coco. Put you right there. Here we have the queen size Sedona. Been sleeping on this thing for several months now. Very much enjoying it. This mattress was a replacement of our not so premium older mattress we acquired on the internet for a very budget price. It's been a nice upgrade because it's got a little bit of best of both worlds. Wife likes to sleep on her side, a little softer sleeping. I prefer a little bit firmer on my back, and it's the best of both worlds. It's a heavy mattress. It's got a lot of layers in it that make up this nice sleeping layer. Good firm handles, definitely premium quality materials. One thing I appreciate about this bed is it's really helped me fall asleep quickly. Usually at the end of the day I'm pretty tired, so that's a given. But when we have a 9-month-old that's teething, and getting up frequently throughout the night, there's a lot of getting up. And so being able to go back down and conk out almost immediately is sure nice. I have not had any issues with heating or cooling. Just seems just about right. In fact, I don't even think about it as far as the mattress being hot or cold or sweaty or not sweaty. I guess that's a good thing. If I'm not thinking about it, then that must mean it's right on the money. The Sedona is just one of many, many options on their website. So head over to Brooklyn Bedding and take a look. There's also a sleep quiz you can take. It helps you kind of narrow down the broad selection of mattresses to find the right one that's for you. If you find the mattress you like, just know you do get a 120-day sleep trial with a limited lifetime warranty. And, again, shipped free to your door in the United States. I love my Brooklyn Bedding mattress, and I think you would too. If you're interested in a new mattress, head over to brooklynbedding.com or scan the QR code. And make sure you enter Welker Farms as the code to get 30% off your mattress order. And if you take the post-purchase survey, helps me out, helps them out, helps everybody out. So let's get back to work. All right. Upstairs in our shop, let's see what kind of fittings we got. See if I got what I need. Okay, I can tell right now I need one of those. And one of those. And what else do I got? Ooh, 3/4 T, perfect. Ooh, I think I need one of those too. Oh man, I don't have to make a trip to town. I might have everything I need here. Do I have got some decent 3/4 pipe? Okay, that works. All right, let's let the air out of the system. So here's the old PVC valve that came off the compressor. It actually is 1/2 inch. There's a 1/2 inch line coming out of the compressor. I can't go for 3/4 directly because they don't have that port size, but we'll go 3/4 from then on out. That way we know we'll have great volume, and replace that old PVC valve with something that, won't be as brittle. Okay, I got some metal here to shield all the wire in the back, and I'm going to see if I can unsweat this right here and get off all this plumbing. I don't know if this torch is going to be hot enough. It's kind of an oldie. We'll try it. This might take a while. Oh man, I might need the torch. This thing is not kicking out a very strong flame. Oh man, I can already see it melting it. Wow, that's fast. Of course, I already pre-warmed it. Come on, buddy. There it goes. Oh. Got it. There. Got it. Now I need to figure out a length to cut this new copper piece. I'd like the valve to line up how it was. We have a rod that goes through the wall, and that turns the ball valve here, so we can turn the air on and off from the outside of this room instead of having to come inside every time. And normally you would deburr the inside, but that's for fluid. And the reason is, when you cut the pipe, it's got a little lip on the inside, and that'll create what's called cavitation. So as the fluid goes through, proper term I think is fluid dynamics, it'll create a little low pressure zone as it compresses against that ridge, high pressure and then low pressure, and that'll slowly eat the inside of your copper out. So you got to deburr the inside, so that way it doesn't do that over time. But we're using air, so we're pneumatic dynamics. Does that make sense? So I don't think the same principles apply with a gas versus a liquid. So I'm not going to deburr it. I know, you can rage in the comments, that's okay. No deburring, not happening. But what I will do is clean it up real well with, ooh, I got some heavy grit. Some emery cloth, clean the ends up here for the sweating to take place. Use solder to sweat copper. I am not very good at it. Sometimes I have really good success and sometimes I don't. So you want to clean off all the contaminants, just get raw copper on each side before you do any kind of sweating. So do that end as well as the pieces you're going to sweat, like this 3/4 male thread adapter. Okay, that one's done. Clean the inside of that. And then the last one was that union. There it is. So clean both sides of this. So just stick it through. We'll work it back and forth in here and clean this up really good. Nice and shiny inside. That's great. All right. Then, got to put some flux on here. I don't know if it's good for your fingers to touch flux. Probably not. I think it's kind of an acid. But I haven't had any issues doing it. So, again, You can leave that in the comments, but I should be wearing gloves. Okay, I fluxed the inside of this thread adapter. We'll go ahead and slide the 3/4 pipe down inside. Just tap it on there. It's in all the way. And let's fire up the torch. Heat one side. Got all that flux is going to bubble and melt inside there. I'll take the solder on one side and I'll hold it against the seam. There it goes. So it's starting to suck the solder in. I think she did fine. I didn't do a very good job on that, but I think it'll hold. That's great. So let that cool for a minute. The other way you can tell once it cools, look inside and see how the solder looks on the inside. Okay, now that end. Now this color doesn't have a stop in it, so this can slide straight through. So I kind of need to figure out how far to put this in there. Let's make a mark on it where halfway point is. Right there. Okay. Not to put that in any further. Right there. Okay. Nope. Oil that flux around in there. Okay, solder's going in. Oh yeah, it's sucking it in there. It's going all the way down. I think it did okay. You know, I should have this thing on the side is what I should be doing. Shouldn't be having it vertical, letting gravity carry it down. We can take a look though and see what it looks like in here, but I don't see any solder coming out of there yet. That's how I should have had it. That way gravity isn't pulling it straight through. It's kind of going at an angle. There we go. There. Oh yeah, it's pulling it in now. Like I said, way too much solder, but I don't know. Whatever, that's good. Let's see if we can do this. Got the wrong glove for the wrong hand. Oh, got a little bit of solder in this thing still. There we go. Way too much heat again, but let's do a little bit here. I want to suck a little more solder in there. Worst case scenario is it leaks a little bit of air, and then I'll patch it up. But I think we're good now. We'll let that cool. This tape is for gas lines, but man, I just love it for everything. I don't know. I use it for gas, for water lines. We even use it for hydraulic lines. I don't know, this Blue Monster stuff's pretty awesome. I know there's a green version and a blue version, but either or we've had great luck with, so I just keep using it. Okay, let's see, the $1,000,000 question. Do I make another revolution? I think I can do it. Let's do one more. I gotta go a full 360. But that one last revolution is really gonna add a lot more threads. Okay, how are we lined up? Oh, it's really hard to tell. I think right there. How Dad did the old valve was he just welded a bolt to the handle there. It looks like he just bent it in a U. So I'll see if I can come up with something pretty close to that. Or I could just reuse his. I think it'll fit. Let's just take it off and try it. I think it's the same. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's just put that on the new valve. Let's see here. Which way is this thing turned? You know what? I don't know if it's gonna work. It's just a slightly bigger. I gotta go quite a bit bigger. I think I'm gonna be lined up right though. That's gonna be nice. It's really a shame this farm doesn't have 3-phase power. The cost of bringing that here would be, oh, I don't know, $200,000–300,000. Not worth it. So we run single phase on everything, but you can get some pretty sweet air compressors, 3-phase system. Oof. Yeah, they move a lot of air. I'll try that. Oh, we are close. It's like going on, but I just need to ream it just a little bit. Be right back. All right, I think this is good here. There we go, like that. That's off. If I can squish it on with the nut on there. Let's bring this back down there. Like this. Right there. Oh, the stop isn't letting it finish on it. So let's just take it off. We'll ream it a little bit more. You know, it's one thing about my dad. He just has a way of making things work. And I think he learned that from farming by himself for a number of years, but it might not always be the most beautiful thing on the planet, but he makes it work. And at the end of the day, he gets the job done. And Leg Arms took up his make it work skills and just adds a little more polish to it. And I don't know what I do. I'm just in the middle there somewhere. Okay, there we go. Okay, just put the handle on. He's got a jam nut on here, which is nice. Is that 9/16? Yes, it is. Just tighten that up a little bit. It'd be nice if I didn't have all these Romex everywhere. Yes, there probably should be conduit coming through some of that. I think I got it pretty tight. All right, let's put the hose on. Let's get some air to this and test it out and see if my sweating job is worth a sweat. This isn't really a 3/4 hose, but it can stretch. I mean, it's 3/4 inner diameter, but it's a little bit small for this, but I got it going the bottom one, so there. There, okay. Found an old hose clamp that no one loved, so I'm gonna give it some love and use it. It's got one of those oddball size heads on it that a regular 5/16 nut driver doesn't fit on. What am I using? I'm using a 10mm right now. Maybe it's a metric size, I don't know. All I know is it's been in our drawer for eons, and no one uses it because of this. But it's perfect for this job. All right, I believe we're ready to fire this thing up. So, that valve's off. Put some power to it. It's gonna take a while, so we'll skip ahead to that, but we'll get the air filter first, then I'll release and see what happens. All right, moment of truth. To the first valve. Oh, that hose jumped. Yeah, it's pressurized. 100 pounds in that hose isn't bad. It's built for that kind of pressure. Okay. I don't have my spray bottle, but I don't hear anything leaking. Yeah. Filling the... Got a leak right here. Cool. I think I got it. All right. Wow. Simple. Let's move to the next project. All right. Let's get this taken care of. Put that through there and pull it tight. All right, well, I got the conduit in the ground. Cables ran through it. Red. I don't know where red came from. Anyways, buried. Tied it up into the box over here. Now I just got to finish tying it in inside there. I got a new receptacle to go in here, as well as an outdoor cover. It's going to go on that. That's going to be real nice. And then I can get rid of this thing. The old cord. It's going in the garbage, but I might save that in though. That's still good, right? I could save that. All right, we'll come back tomorrow. And check that off the list. Nice cover there. Good. Let's go to the next thing. All right, change of plans. Buddy called and said, hey, you got a four-wheeler you got laying around somewhere? Or you want to go jump on and chase some cows around, get them rounded up? And I'm like, yeah, I could probably do that. So I'm going to go help out. I got some beautiful river country. It's really fun to chase some cattle around, see some wildlife, and get out of this element, even though this is quite a nice place to be in right now. All right, let's get rid of that thing. So we can just use that thing, because I really don't want that on there while I'm doing this. Remember, Hondas don't die. True story. Yeah. As I'm heading to the location, I just want to say, guys, thanks for putting up for our absence, our MIA, our lack of videos. You know, we're not in the shop working on anything really at the moment. We've really needed these last couple months after harvest, after the tractor was built. We didn't see any winter wheat, and that way we were able to just focus on a lot of much needed things with the family, with the farm, houses, all kinds of things that we just have needed to do. We've been working, I just haven't been filming, but it's been really nice not filming some of this stuff. It's not stuff I don't think you'd really care to see anyways. So we'll get back at it. We got a lot we got to do. There's a long list ahead of us. Some really fun stuff, some cool stuff, some not so cool stuff. You know, it's just the life of the farm. So we're gonna get back at it. So just hang in there. Soon we'll get Leg Arms, myself, and Dad back in the shop. And this winter we're gonna kick out some cool stuff. So anyways, let's keep on rolling. This country's always beautiful, except for the lack of green at the moment. This is just typical fall season. Before the snow really starts coming, everything is brown, brown, brown. Oh, I see some cows down there. I think those are some of the ones we're gonna be rounding up. Sorry guys, I know you've been out playing this whole time, but time to come back to the corrals. Winter's coming. Like we got a guy up there, 2 guys up there, this guy right here, another guy over here on 4-wheelers. He's gonna take these, run them through this gate right here. So here's some up on top of the hill up there. Yeah, this is where you go to shoot the deer. I didn't do that this year. Yeah, good stuff. This has become grizzly bear country. It didn't used to be when I was a kid, but the lack of hunting for bears over the last many, many decades, they've overpopulated the mountains, and now they're back out on the prairies again, which is what a lot of the environmentalists, lands conservationists, whatever you want to say, they want it to be that way, and I get it, but, you know, do we really need them out here? I don't think so. Yeah, they thrive out here, but it sure made a mess of the local farmers and ranchers. At what cost? So the bears can be back at the prairie again when there's way, 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 way more than we need in the mountains. Anyways, yeah. That's controversy for another day. But yeah, grizzly bears definitely, they love this area. There we go, all wrapped up. It turned out there was plenty of guys, but that's all good. No crazy instances, so no one rolled a 4-wheeler. No bears jumped out on us. Didn't see any coyotes, only a couple deer, nothing big. And all the cows got rounded up. So I'm done, let's go back to the farm. Get back to the farming that I know. I don't know that animal stuff very good. Kind of weird. All right. How many years has that been like that? Let's get that fixed right now. Breaker's off. I know, let's just not talk about it, but let's get this fixed. I gotta cut the hole more square because I'm not getting the receptacle in there with it like that, so let's just do some trimming. Oh yeah. That looks great. Right on the money. Good to go. I'm not kidding, I think it took almost 15 years to get that done. Yeah, it's right on the front of the shop right here. Yeah, 15 years. We could have used that to charge batteries. I don't know. You know what? There's no time like the present. That's a good saying. Let's get it done. Another thing that happened in this shop, and it's been this way for a while now, is that outlet, the one that was supposed to run the garage door, so you can see we got a cable going over, tying into that one over there because we had to make it work. And the one on the outside of the shop here had not been working for a while now. So I got to find out what's going on. No power to this. So just taking her apart. Let's just start following the lines. See if we can figure out. I don't remember when we did this where they all go, but it could be up in the attic and something came undone somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we don't have power. All right. I think I found the problem. It's up in the attic. It is a wing nut that had 4 wires going to it, and the wing nut wasn't, yeah, don't go down there, didn't quite get all of them, and the heat and cold of the winters and summers, I'm guessing slowly worked it out. So I am going to replace the wing nuts with what are those, push connect jumpers or junctions, whatever you call it. Almost there, here we are. And there wasn't a cover on this either, so I'm gonna put a cover on this too. Let's just double check that I got the right breaker. I don't have power here. That is correct. No power. All right, pull this apart. Much better. Much better than a wing nut. All right, power's done, now for neutral. There we go. 4. Okay, let's get out of here. Yeah, turn the bifold breaker on and check that wall outlet by the pressure washer. I'll put this cover back on if we're down up there. Yeah, there was wing nuts that had 4 wires going each one, and the wires had worked themselves out. There's a junction box up there. Well, that's refreshing to have that receptacle working, the one on the outside working, the one in the corner over there working. That one up there working to open the garage door. I still gotta take that extension cord off that one. Got the bathroom one fixed up, so I think we're done with electrical in the shop for now. Just good. Let's go outside to the storm. It's blowing like 40, 50 miles an hour outside. Like, I'm just trying to air up a tire on the 844 loader because we need it. And I got another tire I need to air up, so let's go check in and see how he's doing. Oh, that ain't so bad. It was howling this morning pretty good. Ain't. I got some better vocabulary there. On the bright side, it's like the beginning of November and it's almost 70 degrees out today. That's pretty nice. Here's how we're sitting. These tires were on here and we got it, and they're starting to dry rot. We don't really know where the leak is, but it's, well, I take that back. We know where the leak is now. It's the O-ring around this because it's low. So he's trying to put a jack underneath to lift it up, get the weight off the tires so we get some air in it. But I think we're due for some tires on this loader. They are wore out. 26.5, 25 looks like. So I gotta keep my eyes open. Either find some used ones out there or go price out some new ones. But we don't use this thing a pile. We don't really need a lot of tread on it. This one's got a lot of tread, which is unfortunate. But the tires are shot, so you gotta get new tires. We'll see if we can get nursed along. And then this loader's gonna get some love too this winter. It needs some serious work. The O-ring was leaking because when it sat flat for a bit, it wasn't long, but this ring kicked back. So we filled it full of goo and put some air to it, and it's pressed out. So it's taking air right now, so that's good. That's good. Well, while he's taking care of that, I'm gonna go get the forks on this girl, and I'm gonna grab that old Continental generator we had, because here's another thing I haven't done. We got that thing running a number of years back. I think we had some video of it. It was pretty cool, ran great. Problem is, I filled the tank full of gas, and we haven't ran it like 6 years or 5 years or something. So I'm sure that gas is all bad and nasty. I'd really like to run it before winter comes just to confirm it runs okay. And 2, I'd like to get that gas out of that tank. I don't know why I filled it full. That was silly of me. So let's get that thing out, let's get it started, make sure it runs, and then let's get the gas out and dispose of it. Bring it back a little bit. Plumb full. Why did I do that? That wasn't smart. Maybe I can find an old truck to put some of that gas in if it's junk. I know. Be nice to burn it off somewhere, blend it with something. Let's see if we can get this thing to start. That'd be nice. No, it runs okay. It really needs to be undercover somewhere. We're just a little short on storage at the moment. So trying to find places to put stuff is difficult because the son loves to eat rubber and paint and everything else. Looks pretty good to me. Quick detour, hopefully. He's done with the truck, so I'm gonna use the air to fill up that tire on that Targator that I talked about. Get that off the list, because I see that every time I drive by. Nice and flat. I don't like flat tires. Not good. Oh, I need a hose. Alrighty, where are we? Right here. I think I'll get enough loads on that. There she be. Worth a shot. If I can get air in it, that's good. These are good tires. I don't want them to be sitting flat on the ground. Oh, it does take care. Good. Okay. I'll hold this here. Just never know when we build our Targator Gopher Hunter. Three-wheeler. Trike. Get in there. She's taking air. That's what matters. There we go. All right. Until next time, Mr. Targator. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to run. I'll turn the fuel on. That's enough. What's this wire right here? Yep, that is. Here we go. It's got old gas. I'll turn the gas off, we'll run it dry. Let me try it here. So, the start's right here.
Turn the master on, yeah.
Is it seized? Starter's not hitting. All these wires everywhere. What does this even go to? Is it ground? The master. How do I kill it, I wonder? All right, let's try it again here. Isn't that amazing? Old engines. This thing hasn't ran in 5-6 years. I'm just gonna, it's trying to rev up to 1800, so I'm keeping it back just to let it warm up a little bit before I let it roar. That's pretty cool. I am just absolutely astonished at how fast that thing started. That is just crazy. On old gas, too. Something we said about old tech. I don't know. They had it figured out. I don't know what year this thing is. Probably 50s or 60s, but wow. Crazy. All right. We'll get the gas out of this thing and go put it somewhere. I don't know if we'll ever use it. I mean, last time we checked, it was kicking out the correct amount of voltage and amps. And the hertz, I think we had it set at 60, which, well, yeah, around 1800 for 60. So, I don't know. I need it this winter. We'll see. Carbon monoxide detector's going off from a little bit we ran this thing. I guess that doesn't surprise me any, does it? Oh, this is gonna take a while. Oh, that is slow. This way is significantly faster. I was never part of the siphon gas days, but this does work pretty good. There we go. Very nice. Now we're flowing. Gravity. For being like 5-6-year-old gas, it's amazing how good it looks. Putting this in the old digger derrick truck. 423, fuel injected. It'll eat it. I think that's about all I can get out with this method. Cool, I think I got it. All right, I won't be thinking about that anymore. Put that gas to use. There, now that that's done. Legarm says he needs a ride, so let's go pick him up. He's taking the loader out to an area where there's some decent topsoil we're not gonna be farming. So we're gonna use that for around our houses. So I'll go pick him up. Yes, the loader still needs transmission work done to it. That's part of that big loader overhaul we're gonna be doing. We're gonna do a major work to that thing. Not quite an engine swap, but it'll be pretty close when it's said and done. I just realized I said 423 on that engine. It's a 427, not a 423. Numbers. Funny thing about this spot, this is where I got the grader stuck really bad. Or was, no, it was the loader. I got the loader stuck here. We had to pull it out with the bud. And here we are, back in the same spot with leg arms. We'll see if he gets it stuck. Old Trusty. She's a beater, but she keeps running. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Got caught up on a couple things that needed done. There's still more to do. In fact, I've already got a list started in my head, so we'll get to that. And things are slow on the farm, so we're just kind of doing some odds and ends here and there, but eventually we'll get together and start doing that kind of thing. But I did kind of want to show you guys something I'm kind of thinking about doing. So let's take a look. Deep in the dark depths of a Welker Farms outbuilding, we've got some goodies. And there's one in particular right over here. I'm thinking this one. That one's got some potential. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.